Hey everyone, it's Raz here, and this is my GTA 5 review. Now, I started playing GTA 5 a while ago. It took me over a year to complete my series, but I did complete it in full. And so I am here to share my thoughts with you on everything GTA. Now, I have put chapters in the description, so if you want to scrub to a certain part, or if you want to hear my specific opinion on a certain part, there are chapters marked. Also, folks, this is actually a mostly spoiler-free review. I will not spoil the ending. There are going to be some minor spoilers in the middle, and I will put a red spoiler text on the screen a few seconds before the spoiler is about to happen. So you'll be able to know when I am talking about a spoiler. However, again, the major ending will not be revealed in this review. So we're gonna start off with what I loved, and I think the number one thing that I loved in GTA was the characters and the characterization. Everything from the personalities of Franklin, Trevor, and Michael to the side characters to the acting, the voice acting, flawless. Honestly, I have not seen a game this advanced in character personality and character development as GTA. I would honestly say, out of all the games that I have ever played, GTA has characters that live in here and will live in here forever. Just individually, I fell in love with Michael, Franklin, and Trevor for different reasons, and I loved playing as all three of them for different reasons, and the interaction between the three of them was always just top-notch. I loved the way that all of them interacted in different ways and the ways that their personalities played off of each other as the story progressed was really, really entertaining to watch. Not only that, but GTA has amazing side characters that really do seem very fully fleshed out for the most part. I know there's a couple 2D ones in there, but it seems like a lot of these side characters are very believable, if a little over-exaggerated. I think that's kind of the personality of Grand Theft Auto, is everything is just a little bit over-exaggerated, which is totally fine. The next thing I really liked about GTA was the big heists. These were some of the most fun things I've ever done in a video game. And interestingly enough, most of these big heists were not that difficult, and it really was obvious what you were supposed to do, and the game kind of does help you out a little bit in these big heists. Now, there were like maybe a couple in there that were a little bit frustrating for me that I did have to start over, but for the most part, most of the big heists were very fun. They weren't too challenging. It was mostly heist setups that were not as fun. The next thing I loved the most about GTA was the world. Now, my total playtime by the time I finished the main story of GTA was about 40 hours, but I would say at least several of those hours was me going around the world, training a few of Michael's skills, training a few skills on other characters here and there, or just wandering and driving around the world. And I cannot wait to do more of that now that I have completed the story. I feel like there is so much of Los Santos and the surrounding areas that I have yet to discover. And the world is just beautiful, and it feels so real. It feels like a real world. And as someone who has been to LA, it really does look like a smaller version of LA, but with about 70% less people in traffic. So very, very good job on replicating the look and feel of Los Angeles, except like minus all the people. But the whole world is just absolutely gorgeous. I think they did an amazing job. I'm really curious to know, like my nerd brain wants to know how they built it, if the traffic and the pedestrians are all on a cycle or if it's all procedurally generated. I just want to know small little things like that. So yeah, just the whole entire world is just so beautiful. There's so much to do. There's so much to explore. And now that I've finished the main story, I am so hyped to dive back in and just explore more of that. Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about, and this is going in between my likes and dislikes section because this is something that I both liked and disliked at the same time. And yes, I am off camera because I recorded this during my editing because thank you ADHD. So the thing that I liked and disliked was the story. So I thought the overarching story was just kind of generic crime villain, crime boss type of stuff, but there were individual moments within the story that I thought were really good and really entertaining. I thought the whole rescuing Tracy from the sleazy TV dude, especially the part where Trevor made him pull down his pants and dance in front of the camera, there were certain shining moments like that that I just absolutely loved. But I guess the overall story of just the whole Michael and Trevor thing and them just doing, oh, one more heist and then we're done. Just one more heist and then we're done. I understood that, but I don't know. It was serviceable, and like I said, there were several moments within the story that I really, really enjoyed. I really enjoyed tension in some places, like the tension between Franklin and Lamar during this part. The whole story of Michael's family and how his family kind of slowly broke down, but then at the end, them coming together again. So again, there are parts within the story that I absolutely loved, but I thought the overarching just kind of crime villain, crime boss thing was definitely just serviceable. Now, some of the things that I did not like so much about GTA will go from like the least offense to the most offense. One thing that I didn't like, and I think part of the reason why it took me so long to complete this gaming series, is because every time I would sit down to record an episode of GTA where I would be doing a main story mission, there was a lot of driving time. GTA, as far as I know, and I did look it up, there is no fast travel system unless you take a taxi, which I actually did try to take a taxi one time. The taxi never showed up, so it's kind of an unreliable system, but that is sort of in a way a fast travel. But other than that, there's no fast travel system in GTA, and part of me understands they want you to drive around. It is a driving game. I understand that very much. So I kind of get why they want you to be driving to these locations, but especially when you load up into your game after not playing for a while, it'll often send your main characters to a random spot on the map, and then you kind of have to navigate your way to wherever you're supposed to go, even if it's just going home. It would be really nice if there was at least just a fast travel to home option. I think that would not break the immersion so much, and just giving players the choice. Just because there's a fast travel system doesn't mean you have to use it, and you can always make the choice to drive somewhere, or maybe you don't allow people to fast travel to places they have not discovered yet, which is typical of a fast travel system. So if you're on a main story mission and you're going to a brand new location, you do have to drive there. So I think some sort of a fast travel system that's not like the unreliable taxi would have been nice. Going back to why I think it took me so long to record this series is because I would sit down, I record for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and at least 30 minutes I would cut out would be driving. Now, some of that, yes, was like mission failures and having to start over and reset and all that. There was huge chunks of time that I would cut out of just driving, and I think that's why it took me so long to finish this series, is because there was so much dead space of me just driving, and sometimes it would take me like 5-10 minutes just to get somewhere on this map because the map is so huge, which is a good thing. We already discussed how much I love the world and how big the map is, but the driving time and the dead time was definitely a bit of a downer for me sometimes. The next thing that I didn't really like is the stealth system does not feel super fleshed out. I was able to use it a couple times for a couple missions here and there, but it was lacking. There's not really a way to detect if enemies can see you or not. It's just you just kind of sneak and you just have to kind of guess. So like there's really kind of a lack of a stealth system there. It would have been nice if that was a little bit more fleshed out. The next thing that I was not a fan of, I have to be so real, the driving. Now, if you watch my first episode, you know how bad I was at it. Okay, we all saw it. People even thought that I was faking it. I was not faking it. And if you watch the subsequent episodes, you can see how my driving does progressively get better. And then you can see I kind of take steps back here and there if I took a really long break from the game. Maybe I'm just, a lot of people say that the driving is good, but for me, it felt like the cars were made of aluminum foil, and if you would hit a pebble in the road, your car would just like immediately spin out. And even though I did get better at the driving later on, and it did start to feel a lot smoother for me, it's still, I still just wasn't a fan, and there were still moments where I swear that I didn't hit something, or I didn't hit something that hard, or my car just barely clipped the edge of something and I just went flying. So I don't know, I didn't think the driving was all that impressive. This is the first like real driving game that I've played through in full, so I really have nothing to compare it to. So maybe GTA 5 is better than other driving games. I don't know. This is really my first driving game that I have really dove into. So maybe it's just a fact of I'm not used to it yet. Maybe I need to play other games, but for me, I did find the driving to, at least at first, to be a little bit frustrating. Definitely better once I got used to it, but still seemed a little wonky in places. The next part I was not the hugest fan of. I didn't think the gunplay was all that great. I'm a person who has played hundreds of hours of Fallout and Starfield, and while these are not technically shooter games, I think the gunplay in those games, even in the third-person mode, is far, far better than GTA. If you watch closely in my playthroughs, I actually switched to mouse and keyboard for every single gun scenario because I'm so used to my own sensitivity of the mouse, where it's like trying to move the joystick around even with the aim assist just was not doing it for me. So I had to switch to mouse and keyboard just because that's what I'm used to for gunplay, and I did not think the gunplay was all that good. Finally, and this is the number one thing that I absolutely hated, was the general gameplay mechanics. And what I mean by that is there were many, many missions that were so incredibly frustrating. One particular one that I can think of is when I had to land a plane on another plane. I had to do that one over a whole bunch of times. When I had to drive Trevor on the motorcycle onto a moving train, that was super frustrating. And then there were a few gun scenario ones, and again, I'm not a person who like really struggled with the gun combat all that much. There were a few of those sequences where I would get super far into them and I would make a lot of progress, and then I would die, and then I would have to start the whole entire thing over. And just that was really, really frustrating to me, was having to start the whole sequence over after making it to a certain part. In a way, I understand why they did that, because like, what if it autosaves at a point where like you're getting your shit rocked and you die and then it reloads and then you just die again? That would obviously not be fair, but I don't know. I feel like there should be certain checkpoints within those missions where you like, I don't know, you get to a safe spot before more guys come, and then that's a checkpoint or something like that. Those missions could be a little bit more forgiving, especially towards the end, where it seemed like I was getting hit really, really hard by those Merryweather mercenaries. Like they would shoot me 3 times and I was just dead, versus earlier on in the game, I would be able to take more than quite a few hits and I would be okay. There was definitely a few missions in there where it just got to be really, really frustrating. And that's why a lot of my recordings just took a really long time, is because whenever I would have to start a mission over, I would have to start all the way from the beginning. In some ways that is an advantage because you just start to learn the mission a little bit more. You start to adapt and you start to realize, oh hey, like maybe I should take out those snipers on the roof this time so that Trevor doesn't die. You know, there are certain things that you start to learn as you go along, which is fine. And I definitely did feel successful after completing a particularly hard one. Like I said earlier, I love the story, I love the characters, I love the general missions, and the big heists are super fun, but some of those pre-heist setups and some of the other missions that were not heists were incredibly frustrating and not forgiving at all. So that is just kind of what I liked the least. So if I had to rate this game, that is a tough one, because there are moments of the game where I would only rate it a 5 out of 10, like when I was having moments like these.
Oh, getting changed. What have you turned
Fuck!
into?
Seriously, this is literally so dumb. It's like the devs asked themselves, how can we make the most annoying missions as possible? And then they designed this shit. And then there are other moments in the game where I would rate it a straight 10 out of 10. Like moments like these.
All right. What are you doing now? I want you to dance sexy, celebrity.
I mean, I need music or...
Are you trying to fucking annoy me, huh?
I love Trevor.
Good.
I love Trevor so much. So I guess if I had to make an honest, fair rating for myself, I would give GTA a 7.5 out of 10. Amazing world, amazing characters, but gameplay and missions can be very frustrating and unforgiving at times. I still think it is well worth the playthrough. If you are going to play GTA, try to find a spoiler-free guide to help you through, because I think that definitely helped me on a lot of my missions. Don't be afraid to swap to mouse and keyboard, back and forth from your controller to your mouse and keyboard to make the experience more comfortable for you. That's what I had to do for several of the missions to make it better for me. But if you were to play GTA 5 nowadays, I would say yes, absolutely go for it. I know that Michael and Franklin and Trevor are all gonna live rent-free in my soul forever. Just my desire to constantly just like exist in Los Santos. So I think that if you have not tried Grand Theft Auto 5, I really think you should. I really think it is worth it. Just be aware that there may be some points of frustration, but I promise you, if I could overcome some of those points of frustration, you absolutely can too. This was my first time playing a driving game. This was my first time playing like a more modern RPG. Is GTA an RPG? I actually don't know. But GTA 5 was really the first game of its kind that I played, and I was able to really overcome a lot of new challenges, a lot of new game mechanics that I had never tried before. So if I could overcome those challenges, I know that you can too. Despite of how frustrated I got sometimes, the payoff was worth it. That sense of accomplishment when I overcame a really hard mission was absolutely worth it. So yes, I really do think that if you are thinking of trying GTA, you absolutely should play it. It is a great game. All right, well, I hope you all enjoyed my review of Grand Theft Auto 5. I hope that I was really fair in my judgments. Let me know if you agree or if you disagree. Let me know your thoughts. Sure, some of my frustrations on the missions might be a skill issue, but you know what? That's okay. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. I will be doing more game series and more gaming reviews. All right, everyone, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, night, or wherever you are. Bye!